and welcome back to the Illinformed Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about random topics without any knowledge or reason. I'm your host, classic spooky voice, with co-host
classic spooky ad-libs
in a homeless man's attire. Hi, everybody. Welcome back.
It sounded like look at the top of his head when he goes
yeah, man.
that little voice notes I said, did you?
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, that was so funny. Yeah, hi guys. What's going on? Long time no listen to.
Long time no speak to a mic.
No, long time no put on Spotify or Apple Music or other podcast apps are available, or YouTube. So 2 weeks ago we didn't record one.
We just didn't.
Yeah, and the week ago, the 1 week ago, we recorded, and as I was editing, lost the audio to a Adobe file corruption. So hell yeah. Maybe I should still upload it, but it would just be video. And you could just assume what I could.
Do you have to edit subtitles?
I could edit subtitles, but nothing about what we're actually speaking about.
You can edit fucking an hour and a half of subtitles of just waffle.
Yeah, I could. Actually, no. I think they're getting rid of captions now. I think they're getting rid of captions you can type, and they're just keeping their auto-generated ones. Because does
it still pick up?
Yeah, so it does the auto-generation,
even if there's no audio.
No, of course not. But people used to make videos without speaking and then just put shit in the captions.
Yes.
But also people could write their own captions for videos that aren't even theirs. They don't do. I think they're removing that, or they have removed it on YouTube. I'm not too sure. Happy Halloween! It's Halloween Day that this is being uploaded. We normally upload on Sundays, but hey, I thought if this is going to be a spooky podcast, why would we upload it a day after Halloween? That wouldn't make any sense.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Trying to get that Halloween clout. I don't know about you, but I've seen what's your usual do your family do anything for Halloween?
Not really.
Do they decorate the house?
Not really.
Outside the house?
No.
Neither.
I think I've been trick or treating twice.
Neither. Yeah, me too. Well, I haven't been trick or treating for about 7 years now. But something I've noticed.
Should we just fuck it off and go this year?
We could.
Just go trick or treat as
go on the 1st of November.
We'll go as Jake and Nathan from the Illinformed Podcast.
Yeah. Everyone will know.
Yeah, of course.
Where the Illinformed merch coming soon.
Locally known, nationally respected.
Illinformed.store. Not invented yet.
.net.org.
.net. .co.uk.
/confused.com. Well,
why are you repping confused.com for? You want your car insurance? Go to put code illinformed confused.com for 20 fucking £5 off. Hell yeah.
Fuck me, is that it? 25 quid.
Yeah, to spread across the 12 months. So it's like £2 a month.
£2 a month.
Yeah, £2 5p a month. You're welcome. Yeah, so but what I've noticed, and I don't know whether it's down to COVID, but I've noticed a lot more of the houses on my street and just kind of all over have just started decorating. And it's never been like this before, but they've decorated the outside of their house and stuff. And I don't even think Halloween's big over here, really. It's big for children, but over in America, it's massive. But it's not as big here.
It's big in, depends what town you're in.
Okay.
Because Iwade is always full of it, isn't it? Iwade is
fucking full of them.
Fucking full of them. The weenies. The Halloweenies.
Halloween nonces. The weenies. I like that.
The weenies. It's all like new build estate, and it's all like a big maze driving around it. You have to know your way around it if you go through the new estate in Iwade, don't you? Mm-hmm. So it's like walking through Thorpe Park or something on Halloween night. And this one's a Saturday as well, so it's
Thorpe Park, but instead of rides, it's just one slide in a wet park.
Yeah, still could be fun.
Socially distanced park.
Thorpe.
Would you, if you have kids, would you ever Like, would you take them out for Halloween stuff? I think I'd do it for like maybe like 4 or 5 years, and then I'd just stop.
I would, and I'd massively overdo it every year.
Would you? Every week?
I'd spend.
It's Halloween every week.
I'd spend like 300 quid on a costume, and I'd be
I'd be
like the coolest dad.
Fucking hell! I'd make it as shit as my experiences were.
I'd buy like the most realistic Among Us costumes.
Nice. How'd you like Among Us? Because you played like last week, didn't you?
I think I prefer watching it than playing it.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, because I mastered it by the end. You weren't there by the end of it. Oh yeah.
No, I joined for one game, and because I was watching a film with Kaylee, I couldn't join the Discord, so it would kind of ruined it because everyone would come and vote, and then nobody would say anything. No. They'd be like, right, I'll just guess. I don't think I voted for you once because just because. No, after you had gone, I warmed up to it because Louis kept killing me. And Louis good. Louis good.
He's not good. He just aimed for me first. Like, he never won, but he just got me first. Or he'd go, vote Jake out. I saw him vent, and everyone would go, okay. I'm like, you fucking joking? I got imposter twice, I think, and both times with Shannon, who's never played the game, had no idea what she was doing, and I dragged her to a win the second time round because I got voted out quickly in the first round, and then she like played dumb right till the end, and then she got voted out, and I dragged her by the scruff of her neck to a win the second time.
Nice.
It got right to it was the last 5, and they were voting me and Amber out. It was me and Shannon. And they were like, yeah, it's definitely Jake and Amber. Yeah, we'll vote Jake first. And I was like, wait, you saw fucking Mia walk off with Amber, and then Mia's now dead. Why are you voting me off first? It's obviously fucking Amber. Like, I will take the loss if I've got to go, but do Amber first. And they went, okay. And then me and Shannon won.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been getting into like, when we played last week, we just get into massive shouting matches, and it's kind of whoever comes out on top is whoever can shout the loudest.
And that's where I come in clutch.
And I find so what Sam does, right, every time if he gets caught killing someone or venting or something,
it's just Big Sam, is it?
Yeah, what he'll do is the other person will obviously report the body or something, and he'll go, I just saw Sam kill this person, and Sam will go, no, I just saw him kill this person. And it's basically, whoever can shout the loudest wins.
It's brilliant.
And I basically took his method and pitted it against DB, and I think they voted DB off, and I fucking won solo.
Yeah, but DB's not one to shout, is he though?
You have no idea, fam.
Oh, is he?
Maybe not in Warzone days, but he shouts like crazy in Among Us.
Have you played the new Warzone?
The zombies one?
Yeah.
No. I've uninstalled the game, bro.
I haven't played it either, but Jonathan at work was showing me a clip of it, and I was like, it's kind of cool.
It looks pretty sick. I'm not going to lie. I regret uninstalling it just for that mode, but it's definitely not something that I would play a lot of. I've kind of gone mainly to Overwatch now. It's the only game that not the only game I'm good at, but it's the best game that I'm best. No, it's the game that I'm best at.
I've started playing FIFA all over again now.
No, yeah, of course you have, bro. You do that every year.
No, because I wasn't going to buy it this year, and then I can't remember what happened. I was watching someone open packs on YouTube.
Wow, this looks fun.
Basically, and they played career mode, which is free. It's an offline game, and it's got like all the. So if last year a couple of 17-year-olds came through the ranks and they're like now really good, they wouldn't be in the FIFA I have now because they've only just got good enough to be in the game. Mm-hmm. So to get like the right players at the right clubs and the right potential, because you can grow players to like be the best in the world. But if it's like a 17-year-old that was shit in FIFA 20 but adds great potential in FIFA 21, I have to have FIFA 21. And I was like, yeah, I'll just download it I'll buy it for career mode. Like, I just won't spend any money on it. And then Mum went and got a Wi-Fi booster, which means I can now play games without any lag, which is brilliant. I was watching YouTube and playing FIFA, and neither of them were buffering. It was brilliant. It was like being in like the 21st century. It was
nice.
Great. And
streaming's next, bro. Jake's going to take to Twitch.
Imagine me streaming, bro. I'd get bored. So I'd have 20-minute streams. And go, yeah, I lost that game.
Is that what you do then? Do you only play like 20 minutes and then like fuck it?
One FIFA game online is like anywhere between 15 and 25 minutes, depending on like how many goals are scored and how many times he wants to fucking pause it. But Like if I never play like 2-3 games in a row, like finish a game and then go cool next one. I play one game and then I'll sit on my phone for 20 minutes and I'll play another game and I'll sit on my phone for 20 minutes.
That is definitely something you have to do. You could probably do that if you decided, this is all hypothetical, but if you decided to go to streaming, you could definitely do a game and then have a 20-minute break by just talking to chat and stuff. That's what I like to do, because for competitive Overwatch, you need to queue up for games, and depending on what roles you picked and how many people you have in your party, it could take anywhere from like 3 minutes to 10 minutes per in the queue. And in the games, kind of like similar to FIFA, 20-25 minutes. And so it gives me a chance to talk with the chat and have some good social interaction as well as just not playing constantly, because I agree you can get bored pretty easily, and you can get burnt out fairly easily by just fucking like playing your arse off.
When I first buy the game, I always sink a fair bit of money into it on like the first day. Just get myself off the ground, so I'm not that shitter with a shit team. I've got like a decent team. And I got home Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday night. And there was like a new Halloween promotion out. So basically, if a player was really bad at shooting, they'd just boost his stats fucking loads so that he's really fucking good at shooting. They're called rule breaker cards. So like a player that's really slow, they've just whacked him up and made him as fast as they possibly can. Like it's like fun and like arcade. And I spent more money on it, and I now feel like I've completed it. Because
You've completed FIFA 21
at the minute.
Bring on the next one.
I had like a good 40 minutes where I packed a legend, which is basically players that don't play anymore, but they have a card about when they played. That's how good they were.
Right.
And like selling it like a minimum of like 300,000-400,000 coins, which is nuts. And then like 5 minutes later, I packed the best player in the game. Like just the highest card you can get. I got Messi. And I was sitting there on my own and I was watching it go and I went, no, this ain't real. I was going, no, it's not. Because me 3 years ago would be like calling
freaking
you
out and
going, Nathan, I just backed Messi, and I was going, no, this ain't fair.
And I'll be like, oh, the chef.
And the fucking I don't really talk to anyone that plays FIFA anymore. So I like Snapchat save it to my memory. It's just kind of going, I don't have any friends that play FIFA anymore. But I just did this. And I flick the camera around and I flick it back and I go, crazy. I just saved it. I sent it to Nathan, one of Kieran's friends, because we used to play FIFA when we were younger. I couldn't send it to anyone else. I was like,
I often do that though. I often
this is shit.
Do videos and photos on Snapchat and just save them and never show them to anyone. But like just moments I want to remember.
It's just a little bit like, wow, that's so unfair that it did not happen like 2 years ago.
Yeah, when everyone was playing.
Fuming. But I'm also like, now I owe it to the game to grind it out, because that's first owner Messi. Fucking nuts days.
Surely you could sell your PlayStation account for.
Oh no, it's not that rare.
Oh,
it's not that rare. But packing him is like absurd, considering like streamers spend like thousands a month. Yeah. And I spend like, what, 200 quid?
I've watched Road to Shore fucking like 2 hours, 3 hours stream just opening packs and packs and packs.
Yeah, they do it. They do it all the time. And I was like, considering the amount of money I've just put into it, I put like 100 quid into it and I made 1 million coins. I was like, that is unheard of. And I didn't sell Messi either. So it would have been like 1.8 million. I was like, fuck, I'm really sorting myself out here now. So now I'm sitting at FIFA like,
now you have to become a pro at FIFA.
Now I have
top
to play
500
at
FIFA.
Now I have to play it.
This is amazing. I don't think you've been much into games since, well, probably for like a year and a half maybe. So that's pretty cool.
That's really the only game I play.
I'm glad. I'm glad you had a good time.
Changed.
Well, no, of course it's FIFA. This is quite off topic, but it's something I've remembered as I've lit the incense stick that you now smell, which is vanilla.
That you now smell. I smell a smelly smell. A smelly smell that smells smelly.
So my friend told me last night that this ash that's coming off the incense, people actually eat.
Are you going to eat it?
And it's called incense sauce. And it tastes like the flavour of the stick. And I was wondering if you'd like to eat it with me.
How do you eat it?
So
do you like lick your finger? Oh, that.
The ash. Oh, that's hot.
Yeah, I was saying, why would you do? I thought you meant the ash in the bottom of the tray.
Well, we could do that. That was probably a smarter idea. I've just burnt my hand.
You fucking idiot. Let me just eat boiling hot candle wax.
I'm glad I caught that on camera. Yeah, do you want me to grab you a bit?
No, I want you to eat it first and then I'll decide.
Okay.
Don't put it on, just like dab it on your tongue. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just chuck in your mouth, just dip your tongue on it. Yeah. Oh no.
It doesn't taste it doesn't taste bad. It kind of just it's I would expect it to be grainy or something, or like taste the burnt. But
I expect it to taste like the perfume shop.
It tasted like nothing, to be honest.
What's the perfume shop?
But also that Lush.
I expect it to smell like Lush. But also tastes like Lush. But
also that the ash that's already in there is a combination of Millionaire, the aftershave, vanilla, as well as just I don't even know how to describe the other smell.
Fag ash.
They're just like classic incense smells. I'll let you smell it. Oh, that's the wrong one. So my sister got them from India, but they just smell like just incense. I wouldn't really want to eat that, to be honest.
No. Oh, that's right in the back of my throat, that. Ooh. I feel like I just sniffed my gran.
I put on like 2 or 3 a day. It just makes the room smell nice, because otherwise it just starts to stink.
2 or 3 a day. Yeah, I'll say I was burning about 3 incense.
Yeah, I smoke about 2 or 3 a day. Packs. No, incense sticks.
I eat 3 incense sticks a day.
So the plan for this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, is to read through spooky stories, real stories.
Yeah.
I've got a couple.
Is this?
It's not the microphone.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think you're hitting your. I don't know. Maybe I'm hitting it. It's all good. It shouldn't be the microphone, because I don't think it's being picked up.
Anyway.
Sorry, we're having technical difficulties. So I've saved a couple. I was wondering if you'd take the first one.
Pick it apart.
So I'll just read the titles for you.
Okay.
I went to a serial killer's lair.
Okay.
I, a pizza guy, intercepted a kidnapping during a delivery.
Okay.
A panhandler followed me through every city, convinced we were dating. When I went to stay with my brother, he came to rescue me. I don't know what a panhandler is. A handler of pans. I was kidnapped.
I'm imagining a guy following her around with a frying pan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, this one's cast iron.
Just dinging it from the distance, like down an alleyway, just like, fuck, he's here. You know what I mean? Like, ding, ding.
You turn a corner, there's just a frying pan on the sidewalk with a fried egg.
You go down an alleyway, there's a frying pan in half, and you're like, oh no, he's here. Or maybe it's one of them guys, one of the strong guys that roll up frying pans. Maybe it's just one of them following her around.
You go back home and all your saucepans have been replaced with frying pans. And you're like, oh God, and you try and get a knife and they're all frying pans.
They're all really small frying pans.
I was kidnapped at 4 years old and didn't even realise. That one sounds sick. Well, obviously not for the person that was kidnapped.
That sounds dope. I wish I was kidnapped.
I woke up to a hooded figure standing over me. And then this last one just called Crazy Ron.
Bloody hell. Which reminds me of Ron Weasley. When he's in the fucking, is it the first film?
Every film goes, oh, bloody hell, Harry.
No, is this, I can't, is it the one where he goes, we'll take the lot. And then Hermione, or something happens and he goes, bloody hell. It's the long stretch out one. Bloody hell.
I've been rewatching Walking Dead and I'm just convinced that all child actors suck. There's not a good child actor out there. There just isn't. So which one? Which one sounds good? You've forgotten.
What's the one before last?
I woke up with a hooded figure standing over me.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. This occurred. Stop me if you ever want to stop me, ask any questions or anything. I'll try and put on some voices too to make it fresh and new.
What? Okay. Fresh and hip.
Getting down with the kids.
For the kids.
This occurred in 2017 and is 100% true.
Already don't believe it. Anyone who says 100% is lying. I'm convinced.
How?
I don't know, dude. When you're telling the truth, do you ever feel the need to go, I'm 100% telling the truth? No, you.
Sometimes when they don't believe me, yeah.
You're just confident enough in yourself that you go, no, it's true.
This is 100% orange juice.
100% concentrate.
That must be a lie. It must at least be 99.
Oh man, come on. There's no way you can kill 100% of bacteria.
Well, true. No one ever puts 100% because otherwise that'd be false advertising.
For anyone watching on YouTube, does anyone else open their cans like this when they can't open it? Let me know.
You didn't even try to. Oh my god, they've already got Santa Claus on the Coca-Cola cans.
No, what? The whole point is the little thing on the can. You put your finger underneath it and you click it open.
Yeah, but you didn't even try.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, because I can do it one-handed. I can do that and just.
Right.
Because I drink so many cans of like alcohol, and so when I can't get it underneath, I just put my teeth underneath it and.
Well, fair enough. Due to a multitude of factors, including a recent death of a close friend, I was unbearably depressed at this time in my life. For that reason, my family flew across the country to visit me in LA, where I live. We thought it would be nice to visit Catalina Island.
The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Oh my god, yeah.
Little stepbrother reference for you there.
When we arrived, it became apparent to us that it was the off-season. It was late November, the weather was cold, and as a result, the island was nearly empty besides the locals and a few straggling tourists such as ourselves.
Local lights at Potsdam Band.
Our first priority was Our first priority was to ditch our luggage so we could explore the island. So we immediately checked into our motel.
Just like on the sidewalk.
No, they're explaining right now. The sentence is not over. You've stopped me at a comma.
We don't need... Quick! Chuck it all away. We need to go and tour.
Holy shit, look at this thriving island with only the locals and a few straggling tourists.
Oh my god, chuck the suitcases away. There's a hooded figure over there.
It's a hooded figure that's about to stand over my bed. Throw the luggage. I call it a motel because all the doors to the rooms exited to the outside. But in actuality, our room was one of 20 to 30 quaint guest house-looking buildings arranged in a sort of horse-shaped shape around a walkway, with rooms on either side of the path. I don't know why... I mean, this is great writing, but I don't get why this is... Just tell me what happened.
Get to it, bitch.
The entrance to the motel was essentially one of the points of the horseshoe, and it walked dead straight.
Wait, what is a point of a horseshoe? It's a circle, isn't it?
No, a horseshoe isn't the direct circle. It's like a semicircle, basically. So it would be on one of those points. Right. The end points.
Right. I was thinking like a triangle, point.
Yeah.
They've got points.
If you walked dead straight, you'd reach the room we were given, essentially on the corner before you have to go right. And to go further into the horseshoe, so from our room, one path led back to the street, the other into a secluded maze of rooms. I'm not really understanding. He said, stay with me. Okay, so he's literally listening.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Illinformed Podcast, look, listen.
I know you can hear me out. Hear me out.
After a day of
strippers
exploring...
that you can fuck. Hear me out.
After a day of exploring and just... sorry, I read the next word in the sentence. It was walk, and I thought it was wank.
After a day of long wanking.
I got so confused. And having just finished dinner, it was time for the cold, dark walk back to the room.
Cold, dark wank back to the room. Love sound of a frying pan in the distance, just whacking one out. Is that a frying pan?
It's like no street lights, and they're all just like on the walk back home in a line.
A long, dark wank.
What makes a wank so dark?
I suppose the lights off, or maybe just a black guy doing it.
Catalina.
Okay, cool. Leave me like that. Leave me hanging. It's fine.
Wow, man, you've cancelled the Illinformed Podcast. Catalina Island is a decent distance from the mainland, and let me just say, it gets dark. Similarly dark was my headspace after the dinner conversation took a left-hand turn and my overwhelming depression got the best of me. I pulled my black hoodie tighter over my freezing ears and walked back to the heads of my parents to the hotel room, telling them I just needed to go to sleep. Did he just have it like above his ears then? He didn't put it all the way down, but he had like this bit around.
No, he would have had it up loose, wouldn't he? And if it's windy, then the wind would have been
would he have tightened the hood?
Yeah, he would have like wagged it.
Okay. No one ever. I don't know anyone who tightens the hood. That should be a euphemism for having a wank. Are you tightening the hood lately?
Oh, that's good, that.
Yeah, right?
I like popping the cork and letting the wine run. Auditioning the hand puppet. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Wanky.
I did.
Long and dark.
I feel like we've had this conversation literally in the previous podcast, not the episode.
I remember having that conversation in Bog Off.
It could have been a Bog Off.
I think it was the 3 a.m. call. I think it was that one.
It could have been a Bog Off then, yeah.
No, it was Matt Balasai.
Oh, was it?
Balasai! Triple A winning gig.
and I did immediately go to sleep, he means. Depression sometimes makes that easy. I was already losing consciousness, and as they entered after me, drifting off without so much as a good night. I then woke up to my mum saying my name. I harsh whisper. Jeff! I'm adding this bit.
I imagine a really pissed off mum in Asda.
Actually, I'll read his name. His user is Dick325.
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 Get the fuck over here now. No, you can't have the crisps.
The room had 2 beds. My parents' bed closer to the door and mine further in the room. My mum's voice cut through the silence again. Dick325. She sounded concerned for me. I didn't blame her, considering my mental state at the time. Groggily, I rolled over. What? I asked. As my eyes adjusted to the dim moonlight coming in through the curtains, I saw her turn to face me. She was surprised to see me in my bed. Her eyes got wide. If I'm in my bed, who was she talking to? We both looked back to where she was
Let's split up and look for clues.
Let's maybe turn on a fucking light.
I can't see, bitch. Turn the fucking lamp on. It's touch. You don't even have to press a switch.
We both looked back to where she was previously looking to see a hooded figure in all black standing over their bed. I know
What if it's just like a freestyle dancer? What's up, guys? I'm your entertainment for tonight.
It's like a Butlins. They're in a Butlins hotel. Can we get some hands moving?
Let's here we go. Come on, I see you clapping, Judy, in the back. Get in the fucking mood. Let's bring out the Jabberwocky.
I was about to say, we've got Bill the Bull here tonight. If you guys want to take a photo, make sure to catch Bill the Bull before he leaves at 8 p.m.
We've got 3 members of the previous Love Island series. Come get a photo in our club.
Unfortunately, it's Love Island Island. So no one you actually give a shit about. That would be a good one. Love Island Island.
The freestyle dancer. The corner. The freestyle dancer breaks in. Just a crump at the end of the bed.
Right, so basically the Reddit is called r/let's not meet. So I know this is Let's Not Meet, and you are reading this knowing a creepy thing is about to happen. It's in the title, but understand how horrifically startling it is to be on an island in the middle of the ocean and wake up to see a hooded figure looming over you. This moment seemed to last forever.
I don't think I'd see a hooded figure and go, fuck, I'm on an island. I think I'd be like, there's a hooded figure at the end of the bed.
Where am I?
What year is it? Is this the Titanic?
Life isn't like the movies, where characters unleash a blood-curdling scream. Sometimes the only thing that comes out is something panicked and guttural.
A fart.
My mum let it rip. A horrific roar.
My mum released an ungodly amount of arse ham. Oh my god! The hooded figure continued to brap.
I feel bad for Dick 325. We're just taking the piss out of his story.
Ungodly amount of awesome.
My mum's words became low and severe as she said my dad's name in a dire voice I've never heard her use before. What do you reckon the dad's name is?
Steve.
Steve! Then the hooded figure did something so bizarre and unsettling.
It dabbed. And it got the fuck out of there.
It pulled up a DSLR. What up, guys? Logan Paul here.
It was wearing a GoPro.
Hello, gang. What's poppin'?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to spending 24 hours in someone else's room.
It didn't advance towards us, but instead crouched in the corner near where it stood. The way it crouched was so absolutely unexpected, even in regards to this already unexpected situation.
How did it crouch?
It terrified me. Kind of like, you know, like how Jeremy Kyle used to crouch when he was like nobody was listening to him, and he crouched.
Oh yeah,
back of his like heels.
He was in the hooded figure started slab squatting, posing for a photo with the boys.
It seemed animalistic. I swear to God, if he's going to end up being an animal,
it was a spider,
a raccoon.
it was a fly. It was just a fly, guys.
I knew two things: the hooded figure had to be standing over us sleeping, and it's not acting in any sort of way that I can understand. So obvious.
I don't speak interpretive dance, dude.
As opposed,
get your hands in the air.
welcome. As opposed to the infinite amount of this figure standing over us mere seconds ago, the series of events that unfolded when my hulking ex-military dad woke up happened in an instant. Suddenly, we were out the door, not knowing which way the intruder went. My mum was screaming, "Get him! Get him!" My dad went running down one path of the horseshoe further into the hotel, shouting through sheer adrenaline, "I'm gonna fucking kill you!"
Oh.
I ran down the other path towards the street. When I got there, not a sign of the intruder, but it became I became dyslexic.
I became retarded.
You can't say that.
Why can't I?
Not allowed to say the R word anymore. But I guess,
can't hard R anymore, is that what you're telling me?
But it became suspiciously quiet behind me. I ran back to the room to find my dad quietly walking back, his head low. He gets really close to me and I hear him say, "It's a fucking kid." The explanation: some young teen, tall and lanky as I am in my 20s, wearing all black, including a black hoodie, went into the wrong room. Our room, the one time my parents just so happened to forget to lock the door. Oh, sorry, I read that sentence so wrong.
Nice.
I read it like there was a comma, but it was a full stop.
Cool.
Lock the door. My mum woke up, and when he entered, and seeing a tall person in a black hoodie, thought he was me, assumedly leaving the room in a depressive episode. And when the hooded figure crouched, that was him, realised his mistake and panicking. He was
sit down.
He was scared of us. As I got back to my room, my mum walked out and hugs the kids, who is now crying who's now crying his eyes out. I would be too if a massive ex-soldier who was sprinting after me with murder in his eyes. So to the now traumatized kid from Catalina Island,
mixer.
I look forward to reading your Let's Not Meet of this same event from your perspective. Oh my God, how amazing would that be? I'm reading the comments now to see if he did it, but I very much doubt it. Yeah, so it was just an accident. I've had similar situations, not as bad as that, but I've in blue water held someone else's hand, and it would not be my mum's.
You're not my girlfriend. This was last week.
No, this was literally the weekend.
This was literally Saturday.
No, I this was when I was a young boy.
Young boy.
It sounded very spectacular. It could have been really bad, to be honest, because he could have just like fucking killed. You know, if it was a intruder or a fucking like a murderer or anything.
Have you not seen the pictures of people that it's like pictures that are scary that need no explanation or some shit like that, and it will be some girl that's woken up and found a post-it note on the bedside cabinet and just gone. It says like lock your door next time. All I took was a knife. All I took was like a spatula or something. I could have killed you. And she's like, fuck.
Well,
It was on in my house.
Good point.
All I took was the TV.
All I took were all your belongings. I could have killed you.
Look at it on the bright side. At least I wasn't a crumpler at the end of your bed.
I'm not a murderer, only a thief.
I'm not that much of a bad guy. I'm just a bad guy.
I only did this because I didn't want to kill you.
Right, I'm going to do the same to you then. I'm
Okay.
going to give you some titles and then you can choose one.
Nice.
Right. Dead animals in the walls. Sounds kind of hot.
Keep going.
The death of Elisa Lamb.
The death of a leg of lamb.
A lamb's shoulder fell off a 3-story building this morning. Tune in at 7 for more.
Over to Gary, live at the scene. As you can see here on the floor, Christopher, we have a leg of lamb.
It is not breathing.
It is not salvageable for dinner.
Elisa Lamb. Not a leg of lamb.
Okay, I got confused.
The Watcher.
What does he watch?
I don't know, probably hardcore porn.
Netflix.
Well,
See that Ben & Jerry's have released a Netflix and chill flavour. I don't know what that entitles. Like,
probably come and sweat.
condom wrappers.
Just lube. It's just a tub of lube.
It would be, you know.
The Haunted Doll.
Are they all of them?
Yeah.
Let's go with Animals in the Walls. That one sounds the most interesting.
Let me find it. Dead animals in the walls. When the Bretzeus, the Bretzeus.
Make up a different family name.
When the Wheelers family decided to insulate their home in Auburn, Pennsylvania in 2015, they discovered that it had already been with scores of dead animal carcasses.
Holy shit.
Have I got to click something to like?
No, it doesn't look like it.
Oh. The dead animals were wrapped in newspapers.
No, read what Fox reported. No. What they reported is that.
As Fox reported, the dead animals were wrapped in newspapers from the 1930s and 40s and were among half-used spices and other items. It's like cooked up like mouses and that.
Oregano.
And you want the nutmeg?
We got a bit of cinnamon here. After
removing the items, they sent hundreds of artifacts and carcasses to expert in Cootstown. The expert attributed the rotting animals in the walls to powwow or Dutch magic, a ritual originating in the culture of the Pennsylvania Dutch to treat ailments. Ailments?
Yeah.
To treat ailments and gain physical and spiritual protection. The Pennsylvania Dutch were a group of German-speaking settlers to Pennsylvania in the 16 and 1700s and are often of Lutheran, Mennonite, and Amish faiths. The Washington Post notes on the magic. Many of the spells deal with care of livestock, finding water, or the treatment of minor ailments, reflecting the conditions and concerns of early American settlers. But powwow, I love that it's called powwow. This Dutch magic or powwow. Sounds
magic, to be honest.
It sounds like a Sneak energy drink flavour. Powwow. Yeah, you can have the large powwow. Powwow also has within it a tradition of darker spells and even such things as conjuring demons.
Ooh.
One notable ritual in their tradition is the hex to create loyalty in a dog. To attach a dog to a person, provided nothing else was used before to effect it, try to draw some of your blood and let the dog eat it along with its food, and he will stay with you.
Holy shit.
It's kind of dope. It's like a blood handshake.
Yeah, but with a dog.
But with peanut butter on my balls. The mold found on the rotting carcasses in the Wheelers' home has caused illness among the family members, and they say that the odour hasn't gone away.
But they didn't know it was there before.
Yeah, so it's been there for about 100 years.
And then they open the wall, and they're like, holy shit, there's loads of dead animals in here. And they're like, what if now, you know what? I feel quite sick now, and I felt sick for the rest for the whole time we've been in this house. But I'm only noticing it now because I know what it is.
I want to know who lived there before and was like, "This is fine."
Well, he's right. I mean, basically, they are.
This is just the new house smell. This is what houses smell like when you buy them first.
Like dead animals.
Yeah, dead animals in a house.
Well, yeah, but it was already. I guess it was already insulated. So fucking deal and a half.
Deal.
I bet
no deal.
I bet they weren't selling it as insulated, but they got free insulation with that shit, boy.
I want to read this one because I know this story and I actually find it fascinating.
Go for it.
This is the death of a leg of ham. Elisa Lamb was last seen on January 31st, 2013, in the lobby of the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. She was vacationing through the West Coast, documenting the trip on her blog. What's up, guys? Welcome to day 2 of my vacation vlog. Today, I'm going to die.
Today, I'm going to eat a leg of lamb. A whole leg of lamb.
Today, I'm going to put dead corpses in my wall. Documenting the trip on her blog and checking in with her parents every day. On January 31st, those calls stopped. Lamb had vanished.
Rip lamb.
All I could think about now is a fucking lamb shoulder. Lamb had vanished. Yeah, because I ate it. Like, what'd you expect? This is a lamb.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
It had like nutmeg, paprika, it was peng. Lamb had vanished. Soon the police were involved and her parents arrived to help with the search. They had nothing. That February, LAPD released elevator surveillance footage of Lamb before her disappearance. The footage shows Lamb behaving strangely in the elevator, appearing to talk with invisible people, peering around the corner of the door, crouching in the corner, and opening and closing the door.
What?
But what exactly is going on in this video raises more questions than answers. Theories range from a psychotic episode to demonic possession to unknown assailants just out of the camera's view. Now, I have the video here. Do you want to watch it?
Yeah, man.
Around that time, hotel guests started... I don't know why I started reading.
Do you want to watch the video? Tough.
It's a 4-minute video.
Holy shit. So she's doing it for 4 minutes. So this is her, is it?
This is her. This is Leg of Lamb.
You know what? She's kind of...
There she goes. She looks a bit pissed the way she's picking those numbers. She looks a bit drunk.
Yeah, I was going to say
she just picked like 4 floors. She's basically picked like...
Yeah, but you're right. If she's drunk, I would do that if I was drunk.
She's stepped and she's peering as if she's trying to catch someone.
No, that's what I was going to say. It looks like she's hiding from someone and she's playing hide and seek.
She's hiding. It basically looks like...
So she's definitely hiding.
It looks like she's hiding from something.
Yeah.
Something. She knows that something has followed her.
And then she's peeking again.
She's trying to catch it.
She peeks out and she looks both ways. So now she's only looking one way.
The second time she's done this.
Okay, she's stepping out a little bit. She's still like 1 foot in.
Oh, she's jumped out.
She jumped out into the outside the elevator. She could just be pissed, man. Now she's doing the hokey cokey. She's in, she's out, she's shaking it all about.
Now she's completely out of the elevator.
Way. The elevator hasn't moved though. Do you notice how she pressed 4 buttons on the elevator and it's not closed the doors?
Yeah, that's true. George Bush. It's an inside job.
Jet fuel doesn't melt the elevator buttons.
George Bush is beyond this.
She's gone. Where's she gone?
She's just there. She's literally just there.
Is that her
You can
skirt?
see her just there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There she comes. She's going back in now. She's touching the walls as if she's like dizzy. She's pressing all the buttons again.
The elevator's still not moving. I reckon this was an inside. Genuinely, I reckon this is the hotel did something.
More buttons have been pressed now.
Because why the fuck hasn't the elevator gone?
She's pressing literally
pressed all the
middle
buttons.
She's now back out the elevator after pressing the buttons. Fucking weirdo.
Yeah, but the elevator's not going anywhere.
She's now looking right again. She's now touching. She's now...
Yeah, she's like moved like...
It's like she's blind and she's trying to find like the door.
The nearest leg of lamb.
The nearest dead leg of lamb. She's now crumping. Oh. She's b-boying. She's breakdancing. Oh, she just did a backflip. That's nuts.
She's standing over a man and a mum and a dad.
Oh, she's walked off to the left. When I first watched this video, I thought it was going to be one of those ones where like something jumps out at you on the screen, like a fake video. Still
nothing's happening.
This is the whole point. Nothing actually happens in the video.
Why doesn't the elevator go? I want answers from the hotel.
Yeah, to be fair, she's not even in the elevator now and it's still not going.
No, and she's pressed every button. It doesn't just reset. It's not like there's a fucking sensor on the entrance.
Now it's gone.
The elevator closes.
Opens.
Is it on the same floor though? No, they must be all the floors that she touched. That sounds weird. Because it would still look the same on the outside. So we don't know.
Opens.
We don't know where the elevator is now. Are we going to see her again? Yeah, that's a different floor because the wall's different colour.
So she walks off.
So she walks off and probably about 30 seconds after, maybe 30, 45 seconds, the elevator goes.
Yeah.
But even though she pressed it...
Now I know where this is going.
Okay.
Because I know this, so this is why,
I haven't heard this.
Excited.
It sounds cool.
Around that time, hotel guests started reporting weird things happening around the Cecile Hotel water supply.
Oh my God, did you hear how Jake's voice went all spooky all of a sudden?
Yeah. CNN reports.
Calling into CNN now.
The shower was awful, said Sabina Bach. That's how it's spelled, bro. Yeah. Baugh. Bach.
Sabrina Bach.
Who spent 8 days there during the investigation. When you turned the tap on, the water was coming black first for 2 seconds and then it would go back to normal. The tap water tasted horrible, Bach said. It had very funny, sweety, disgusting taste. It was very strange taste. I can barely describe it. But for a week, they never complained. We never thought anything of it, she said. We thought it was just the way it was here.
Oh my God. She so could have gone, man, she could have made her name from this. She could have gone, yeah, it tasted horrible, not very nice. Some could say, when I first tasted the water, I went, bah! But no.
I went,
what a dumb bitch.
On the morning of February 19th, a hotel employee climbed to the roof and used a ladder to investigate the hotel's water storage tanks.
Oh, God, is there a body in it?
That's where the authorities found the decomposing naked body of Leg of Lamb.
Holy shit.
Whose personal items were found nearby. After an autopsy, her death was labelled accidental.
What, accidentally naked decomposing in a fucking water tower?
NBC LA reported at the time about the strange circumstances in the hotel's past. The tank has a metal latch that can be opened, but authorities said access to the roof is secured with an alarm and a lock. The inside job is appealing to me.
Fam, it's the hotel, man.
The single room occupancy hotel has an unusual history. Night Stalker Richard Ramirez, who was found guilty of 14 slayings in the 1980s, lived on the 14th floor for several months in 1985. And international serial killer Jack Unterweger is suspected of murdering 3 prostitutes during the time he lived there in 1991, who eventually ended up killing himself in jail in 1994. In 1962, a female occupant jumped out of one of the hotel's windows, killing herself and a pedestrian who she landed on.
Unlucky.
That's it.
And why did it tell us that at the end? Just because of how much murder and shit has happened there.
So still, as far as I'm aware, still to this day, no one knows what the fuck happened.
And the hotel's still open.
The hotel's still open.
That's pretty mad.
Hotel's still open. They've got the security footage from the elevator, but not from the hallway or getting up to the roof or anything like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, alarm and lock. How the elevator didn't go for so long. Now, I don't know if hotels can actually control that. I'm not too sure. But I'm definitely convinced that there's definitely some false information or kind of like security that the hotel maybe said that they had and in the end didn't have. So maybe I reckon she was being chased from someone, or she got laced with some shit, and it happened.
Took some bad mushrooms.
Yeah, genuinely, because if you have a bad acid trip or some shit, you could literally think the world's ending and kill yourself. So it's probably been done multiple times before. So yeah, I reckon it was her on a bad trip. But yeah, I reckon. But yeah, the hotel should have probably had better security.
Probably.
But equally, who fucking stays at a hotel that's had a fucking suicide and 2
it's probably
serial killers?
It's probably dead cheap.
Yeah, let's go. Would you go?
Yeah.
I think we should. I reckon next Halloween we should go. Record a podcast in there. Taste the water.
In the Cecile Hotel.
Yeah.
Taste the water.
Eat a leg of lamb.
Eat a leg of lamb.
Each.
Taste the water. Each. Has to be each.
Yeah, I'm just going to say I would like my leg of lamb solo. Shall I read the Crazy Ron story? Because honestly,
Crazy Ron leaves me with a lot of questions.
I feel like
bloody hell.
If we don't do this one, the viewers, the listeners are going to want to know. Oh Christ, this one's a bit of a long one though. We might have to stop halfway through. No, we'll get it. Over the years, as a woman who has declined every proposal of marriage or conventional living arrangement,
slag,
largely moving through life as a single female, I've gathered more tales of dangerous chance encounters than I can even rattle off in a day.
We get it, you're hot.
Stalkings, a murderer that has never been apprehended, death threats, actual physical assaults, and I'm not especially defiant of common sense or rules to live by, i.e., don't walk alone after dark. I never open the door to strangers. I'm not chatty or inclined to give people I meet my phone number, even if they seem stable. Really, I'm just socially lazy. But my earliest memory of contact with a predator predates the invention of the internet, when I was just a child living with my also very single mother. This is from Bad Cat, Good Cat.
Bad cat, good cat. Wake up, there's a hooded figure.
We had just moved into a large white American colonial-style home across the street from a daycare centre. It was the nicest home we'd lived in thus far, which says a lot because my mother was forever struggling to keep me clothed and fed, while my father pursued his dreams of being an artist and could afford to pay little in child support. But he did pay without fail every month and ultimately became a very successful painter and left me an impressive legacy. I'm very proud to be his daughter. Good for you, babes. I got a fucking asshole dad, so stop rubbing it in. I was excited because I had the entire downstairs level to serve as my own personal play palace. Away with my chronically high-strung mother. My mother's chronically high.
All the time.
Away with my chronically high-strung mother, and she was relieved to be directly across the street from reliable daycare. Perhaps the low rent had something to do with the fact that our neighbours to the right were Moonies, essentially members of a worldwide cult referred to as the Unification Movement.
The Wu-Tang Clan.
A group of them lived in an upscale home a stone throws away with shuttered windows that never opened, and we almost never laid eyes on them. Never during the daytime. Never. Ever.
During the daytime?
2 on F was wrong. Bloody hell, Ron.
Bloody hell.
Ron.
We'll take the lot. Oh, why couldn't it have been like a giant turtle or something? I hate spiders.
Ron was a middle-aged man, probably in his 40s, a little more than a decade older than my mother.
Bloody hell.
Bloody hell. I was 7 at the time and pretty observant and stoic for a child, so I didn't escape my notice that Ron was eccentric, peculiar, always wound up and kind of a
fucking weird.
What? Oh,
eccentric,
peculiar,
fucking weird.
Weird. Bloody weird.
Bloody.
Always wound up and kind of dopey at the same time. He had the wild, dark hair that stuck up and kind of fanned out on the sides, but was sitting on top, where he insisted on conspicuously combing in such a manner as to hide his physical scalp.
Comb overs a red flag.
They're so ugly.
Red
I hate 'em.
flag.
I hate people that do that. They literally have like the singular strands of really long hair.
Yeah.
It's so gross.
Get rid of it, lad.
He wore wire rim glasses that magnified his eyes and somehow lent him an air of goofy harmlessness, like the fourth missing stooge. Fuck knows. When we first met Ron, who appeared in our front yard one afternoon after she collected me from daycare, my mother's weirdo meter.
Well, no. He was just chilling in their front yard.
They weren't even there. He was just sprawled out on the grass.
Yeah.
Lovely day for a nap in my neighbour's front yard.
He had laid a blanket out. He had the radio on.
He had a red wine, 2 glasses,
Red wine, 2
a leg of lamb.
waiting for it to come back. What was that?
That was a loud one.
Did you hear that?
I'm scared.
I'm scared.
We should watch that. That's a scary video. My mother's weirdo meter went off.
My gaydar.
He seemed overeager to be living next to a financially strapped single mother and her strange daughter. My mother she just defined herself as strange. My mother was beautiful by any standards, however tall, willowy, with long dark blonde hair that ended at the waist and perpetually the perfect shape of tan, thanks to her very Native American grandparents that raised her most of her formative years. Really a striking and unusually beautiful woman.
We get it.
My cock can only get so erect.
We get it. Your mum's hot, all right?
But troubled.
Fuck.
She was troubled for a lot of cultural reasons, which left her socially awkward and gun-shy, and also sympathetic to other socially challenged individuals. It must just be an American phrase. So she gave Ron the benefit of the doubt. I thought, and she would later say she thought as well, that Ron just developed a very big crush.
Cock.
Fast.
Big hard on. Bloody hell.
Fast and understandably. It started with a locket which had a picture of me inside of it. That was the first gift.
What, you or the mum?
The daughter.
Oh.
Not me. This is Nathan.
From the Illinformed Podcast. Why does he talk like that?
This is Nathan. This is Nathan from the Illinformed Podcast.
You're very pretty. Fuck off, Ron. Get back in your house. Mum, Ron's outside again. Ron's in. There's a girl in the garden. There's a Ron in the garden.
I've developed a big hard cock for you.
There's a girl in the garden.
Oh my god. It's a fucking Ron in the garden. That's a good one.
There's a Ron in the garden.
That was the first gift he surprised with her. Calling up to the house, standing outside our fence. I've got you a locket.
What's her mum's name?
We don't know.
Imagine peering your head over and going, psst, psst, Barbara. You're right, Ron. Chucks it at her full pelt. Throws the locket at her as hard as he can.
I got you a locket.
And then just really softly goes, I made that for you. And then she goes, oh, thanks, Ron. That's my daughter. And he goes, yeah, lovely, isn't she? And then just disappears behind the fence again.
Very slowly.
Yeah, but his fingers are still there. His head's gone, but his fingers are still there.
He's on a child slide, so he just steps down. Or he slides down.
He's balancing on the slide. You just hear him go down the slide.
Yeah. He's wearing fucking jeans.
He's wearing shorts, so his skin's sticking to it. It's going. He's going, I know I shouldn't have worn my shorts.
Oh. It looked like an antique to us, which Ron confirmed he came across at work, and he was an antiques dealer.
As he was a pedo. He had pictures of kids all over the gaff.
My mother was deeply disturbed with a photo of me, which was obviously taken unbeknownst to anyone while I was playing in the film. While I was playing I skipped ahead of a line. While I was playing in the yard, and back then everything was done with a 35mm film. No one had cell phones or home printers, even disposable cameras. We had a Polaroid and a 35mm, and this was a 35mm, meaning that there was likely other photos of me which had been developed sitting in his house. My mother tried to refuse the gift, also explaining that she was not by any means okay with anyone taking photos of her daughter without her consent. But then Ron appeared to be inconsolably apologetic, so she accepted, reluctantly thanked him, and we both returned inside. The next gift was a large stereo system.
Was a leg of lamb.
You should go to this hotel.
I've heard the water tastes really good.
You should try the water, it's their specialty.
You can only drink it for the first 2 seconds though when it's black.
That's the secret.
Don't go in the elevator.
Don't go to the roof.
Don't go to the roof. There's a body there's a body up there. There's a what, Ron? Nothing.
Bloody hell.
He opens a water tank and he has to pretend like he doesn't know it's in there. And he goes, bloody hell. What's that then?
Oh my God.
Poor Ron just getting it. He's got to firm it, lad.
Oh, I skipped ahead a bit. Whoops. And by a bit, I mean, it's a fucking long old story.
Jesus Christ.
It's a long one. Stereo systems were not cheap in those days. Well, they're still not now. And this was one of the more expensive models. Ron, who always looked especially sweaty and slicky in the Texas heat, said he received it from a pawn shop owner he was friendly with, but had a home stereo as well as a system at the antique shop, so he couldn't benefit from it. Didn't want it to go to the trouble of selling it, and wouldn't want it to go to waste when it could go to us, since he was certain we did not have a system of our own.
You look poor.
I reckon he's been in the home. He was right. We had a little boombox. Well, I had one. My mother had books for her writing and eschewed other forms of entertainment as brain rotting. My mother refused the extravagant gift, but Ron begged her to take it for my sake, and finally she relented, incredibly uncomfortable. She said at least she could listen to Tina Turner, of whom she was quite the fan. However, she took Ron's suggestion and set the system up in my den downstairs. The third gift was a camera, an obviously expensive professional camera, which he again claimed he got from a friend of his who was also in some sort of retail business. These items didn't look used in any way, and my mother really wanted the attention to stop at this point. She flatly refused the gift and drew her line in the sand. No more gifts. None. Period. He then got her a period. She began to
What?
Nothing. She began to dread coming home from work, and I was no longer allowed to play in the yard. Despite the absence of gifts, Ron would still appear at the fence or catch my attention from the bottom window, and I would indistinctly I just can imagine him
still wear the locket,
sitting at the top of the slide looking over in their garden. And I would essentially go get my mother, who would come down and firmly but politely tell him it was not a good time for visiting or neighbourly chit chat.
Ron, come here. What's up, love? Fuck off. Get the fuck back in your house.
My mother and father had just worked out a new visitation schedule, and I was to begin. I'm so fucking dumb. And I was to begin spending Saturday nights at his house. Up to that point, I spent Friday nights there, but it was all six of one. Half dozen of the other, as far as she was concerned. So Saturday it was. I'm confused. That first Saturday went smoothly until the following Sunday morning, when my father returned me to my mother's house, and we learned someone had broken into the home, taken nothing, and gone nowhere except the downstairs. My mother had heard them come in and quietly lock the door at the top of the stairs, which was a weird feature we were suddenly grateful for, and proceeded to hide from the intruder until he left some minutes later. I had disfortunately been away at the time, because it was quite typical of me to be up late on a Saturday night listening to the stereo, since there was no school or work the next day for either of us. The police told her that she needed a dog of any size and a gun. She took off the work the next day, and I stayed another night with my father while she spent shopping for a shotgun. Classic American. They took nothing. I'll buy a gun. At some point,
I don't feel safe.
I mean, I would understand. Like,
I'm going to buy a gun.
I'd understand because, someone has broken into the home. But is she, at the end of the day, will she still hide upstairs or would she go out at them with a gun? Because I'd probably still hide upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Because they could have a weapon.
Yeah.
At some point, while talking to my father about the incident, the matter of the neighbours came up and Ron entered the conversation. How? When my father learned all about the attention Ron had fixed on my mother, he was naturally alarmed, especially for me, whom he worried might get caught in the crosshairs. My dad was kind of a vaguely emotional, unavailable man, but not an absentee father by any means. And I knew beneath his somewhat distant, placid surface, he loved me greatly. I get it, man. Your dad loves you. My mother would later tell me that about his duality, unable to pass up taking in a stray dog or cat, but he would come home from the bars covered in other people's bloods. He had been a boxer for many years in the service, and he was unafraid of people he probably should have avoided. Something of a wild card, he never knew what he would do when it came push to shove. Some time went by, not a great deal, a week or two, and I began to notice Ron walking by my school often when we were at lunch recess. He'd stop and say hi, which no one seemed to notice. I didn't mention it to my parents because I really didn't understand the true concept of child predators at that age, and because Ron never engaged me beyond saying hello or waving as he walked.
Hello.
Or waving as he walked along the fence.
I'll call you this leg of lamb.
Just his hand above the fence.
No, nothing else, just the hand.
It never occurred to me that anything untoward was happening. Finally, one day, he stopped at the fence and said, "I'm going to get some ice cream. It's so hot out. Aren't you hot?" It was Houston, fucking Texas. Even as a child born and raised, I remember sweating in my shoes for all of my days and speculating about the blistering temperature with friends.
So moving with Yanni and Uncle's Bel Air.
Because you're going to move in with Ron next door. He's going to get you ice cream.
You're going to like it.
We play playground some days. Is it 120 degrees, 200 degrees? We didn't know, but we thought it was close and had overheard news reports of elderly people expiring from heat stroke. My father always spoke of melting into a puddle.
Did she just use the word expiring as death?
Yeah. That is very horrible, actually.
That's a bit cold hide. Yeah, they expired.
Yeah, their use by date is up.
You can still eat them, but it just won't taste good.
My father always spoke of melting into a puddle on the sidewalk, and it conjured images of grandmothers liquefying like candles into an unidentified pools of wax on the concrete. So hell yes, I was fucking hot, I nodded. "I really wish I could take you to get some ice cream with me," he said, sticking his fingers through the high chain link fence.
Sticking his fingers slowly in my mouth.
Well, I sucked his thumb. Hey, he exclaimed as though he suddenly brained the brilliant idea. "You want to go get some ice cream with me?" That was a defining moment in my child's brain when it became something other than simply the mind of a child. I understood that Ron was not just crazy Ron, as my parents had called him.
Ron wanted to fuck me.
He was sinister. His intentions were darker than I could fathom, and I seemed to snap to that awareness too. Up to that point, we had been warned what adults who sought to hurt children would say to lure us away from safety. It was all over the television, commercials, billboards, pamphlets, police, and guest speakers visiting our school would recruit the script of lines meant to tempt us with promises of pixie sticks and bubblegum. But they never told us what happened after that, what they would actually do after dropping the bait, and it didn't need to know. An uneasy feeling crept over me, and I backed away from the fence, saying I needed to go. Recess was almost over. About an hour later, I was called into the principal's office. I was terrified, and I'd never been called into the office before. Still a pretty well-behaved kid at this stage of my life. Once I walked in, I saw both my parents and my stomach dropped. My mother was visibly shaken, and my father was pacing. I'd only seen my father angry one time that I could recall. Yet I knew in my gut that he was seething with anger in that moment. I knew I was really fucked if my mother and my father had to leave their respective jobs to come deal with me for something I had done. For the life of me, though, I couldn't figure out what I had done. I quickly learned that Ron had gone into the office, stating that he was my father. He was picking me up and he would be promptly moving to another state, so I wouldn't be returning. Luckily, my father was a very involved parent, and he was also friends with the artist boyfriend of my teacher at the time. We often ran into them at the art supply store, and Miss Curry knew extremely well what my father looked like. When she received word that my father was here to whisk me away for good, she went straight to the office to learn more. The man standing before him was clearly not my father, and the staff's internal alarms were rung. The police had already taken Ron, and I'm not really sure what happened next, but I do know that at some point in the long days that followed, Ron returned home briefly, long enough for my father to find him. Unfortunately, my father is no longer living, and he can't fill in the blanks at this part of the story. But I do remember he came straight to the house, looking flustered, holding one hand in another and wincing. He did tell us that Ron would not be living next door any longer, and if he ever saw a trace of him again, that my father would kill him with his bare hands. He then took me to my house for several days, and when I returned home, Ron was gone, and police continued to move in and out of his house for the rest of the week. There were no stalking laws at the time in Texas, and even kidnapping was a fairly new concept to law enforcement with limited protocols in place. It was the 80s. But when I had been able to piece together is that that eventually the police were able to tie Ron to a break-in in my mother's house, where he had likely gone clumsily planning to abduct me, and whatever they found in his house was enough to keep him behind bars. We learned that Ron had been living with his mother, Norman Bates style, for his entire life until she died not long before, leaving him to a house next to us and the antique shop. He was not a well-balanced, functional adult and was likely psychosexually stunted for reasons I can never really know. The part that really makes me uneasy here is that Ron's plan to move with me in tow. I couldn't imagine he was actually planning to abandon the home he owned. I don't know if he was simply being compulsive, thinking he could work out the kinks after he got me in his clutches, or if he had already had some terrible plans to dispose of me and the evidence before I was officially declared missing. My mother purchased a German Shepherd, violating the terms of her lease, and we had to move to a garage apartment across town, so we never saw Ron again. Hopefully no one did outside of fellow prisoners, but I expect he was eventually released back into society again at some point. But who knows? I doubt he's even alive in 2020. I suppose the most frightening aspect of the whole ordeal is that he existed in the first place, but my mother was never the target, only an obstacle, and all the flattery and the attempts to infiltrate her life was simply the acts of a man trying to get around her to her child. Holy shit, man.
That story could have been 20 minutes shorter.
It could have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty intense, though. I'm sweating a bit. I'm hot.
Because you had to read it.
I'm hot.
You had to focus on not fucking up.
Yeah. That's what it is. Jinx.
Ron was just trying to buzz. Poor girl wouldn't let him.
It's scary, though, isn't it? Like, things like that, because think about it. What if her mother was a little bit more confident and actually took pleasure in Ron. Treating her, buying her gifts, to the point where she, allowed him into her home, and it definitely could have gone very different. Yeah.
Could have done.
Crazy Ron. Motherfucker.
You motherfucker.
Problem is, we don't really know how long ago that was, so we can't even tell if but she said he's not likely alive, but even so.
She said the 80s.
Did she?
She kept saying, it's the 80s, nobody has
Oh,
cell phone.
yeah. So if Ron was in his 40s, he'd be 70. No.
80.
80. No. Yeah, 80. So he might be alive.
Maybe.
Depends if he's ever smoked.
What's that got to do with it?
Smoking cuts your life off.
It can.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jake, this is an intervention.
Please, not on the podcast. At least wait till after.
Okay. Well, that was a fun one. I actually quite liked reading some stories, I think we should do that again. Maybe in the future.
Yeah.
Maybe about different topics. Or maybe even you just find something that you want to read off or speak about. We could do that.
Yeah. Well,
so
down.
Next week's podcast is Jake's birthday podcast. So make sure you bring your party hats and party poppers.
Bring your balloons.
Oh my God, I should just fill the room with balloons. Balloons.
We should just get licked. We should just get stupid.
Oh, holy fuck, we could, I'm off next week.
Drunk. Why are you off next week?
I've booked the whole week off. Do you want to do something?
Why?
Because I had 10 days left
you just got
annual
a day
leave.
to take?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Me and the boys are going down the pub Wednesday, but obviously there's that rule of 6. So
Is there already 6?
Yeah. The Norwich group is 6 people.
Oh, okay. Let's get fucked up here, man. Are you working Wednesday?
No, Wednesday's my day off. So
and you can stay if you want to.
And I've asked for Thursday off as well so that I can get fucked up Wednesday night. Yeah.
Nice. Sure, let's do it.
I'm getting a tattoo Wednesday. You want to come along? If you're allowed to. I need to ask him if you're allowed to.
Yeah, maybe I'll come. Yeah, let me know.
Maybe.
Well, yeah. Well, if
I'll stay around. We'll just get pissed. We'll do I'll come round and I'll after work, and we'll have a few. We'll like chug a few cans or do a few shots or something. So we're a bit like limber, and then we'll just keep drinking through the pod.
I like the idea of that.
This is brilliant.
I like the sound of that. Awesome. We'll see you then, guys. Thanks so much for listening along. Appreciate all the support. Bye-bye.